Good morning, America. On the move. Record-breaking travel expected on the roads and in the skies for the busy holiday week. The trouble spots to know about before you set out. And when it comes to weather, who'll get a wet rather than a white Christmas.
Ship seized. The Coast Guard boarding another vessel in the Caribbean following President Trump's threat to impose a blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers in and out of Venezuela, putting pressure on Nicolás Maduro's regime. But how is this seizure different from the last one?
New details in the fiery plane crash that killed 7 people, including NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife, and his 2 children. A passenger's text moments before the crash, and the questions on who was piloting the Cessna when it went down.
Flu spike, the rising number of cases nationwide, more than 4 million cases this season. Dr. Sutton on how to protect yourself and when to use those antiviral medications.
Christmas crunch time, only 4 days left. GMA has you covered with last-minute gift ideas to get those presents under the tree in time, plus what to know about last-minute shipping.
And from tackles to touchdowns, all the drama from the college football playoff, who moves on. Plus, going for it! ESPN's Herm Edwards on those critical NFL matchups. Bears win! And the incredible walk-off win overnight.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good morning, America.
We like it.
Yeah, we do.
Good Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, America. And a happy first day of winter to all. The days, amazingly, they get longer from now on.
Yes.
It's not going to get brighter just yet, but the days are going to get longer.
We'll get there eventually.
Yes, and some awesome football excitement to get to, but there's a lot of news ahead as well, including the latest on the U.S. seizing another ship in the Caribbean.
Also, with millions of Americans staring at massive increases in health insurance premiums, what's ahead next month when Congress returns to deal with the expiration of Affordable Care Act subsidies? So we'll look at that.
Yeah, but we do begin here with the record holiday travel and the severe weather that could have an impact on holiday plans. ABC's Morgan Norwood is at Newark Liberty International Airport. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning to you, Ed. Yeah, if you are flying out for the holidays, this is what you could be walking into. The crowds here at Newark Liberty are certainly building, but so far so good, guys. Not tracking any cancellations or few cancellations and delays, but we know that could quickly change, especially with the record-breaking travel season already underway.
This morning, with just 4 days until Christmas, millions of Americans on the move during what's already shaping up to be a record-breaking holiday travel rush.
It's stressful.
TSA checkpoints packed, lines snaking through terminals. Officials expecting nearly 53 million passengers between now and early January, close to 3 million per day. And airports pushed to the brink.
We're expecting to possibly break another record this year with more passengers than we had last year in total.
Major airlines like American rolling out updated technology to speed up check-ins and security. ABC's Victor Oquendo at Miami's airport.
We've enhanced our mobile app. You don't even have to pull out your boarding pass or your driver's license.
But as the rush builds up, so does the risk for disruption. Relentless storms out west from Seattle to San Jose threatening to upend road trips for drivers. Where weather isn't the issue, traffic is. AAA expecting at least 109 million drivers on the road, fueled quite literally by cheaper gas prices, now averaging $2.87 a gallon, 20 cents lower than last year. But major corridors will be choked. I-20 through Atlanta tomorrow is looking at a 50% increase in typical traffic. The Long Island Expressway through New York City up 90%. Denver later this week, nearly doubling.
And so bottom line, if you are driving, steer clear of those midday to evening hours. I think the sweet spot if you're driving is going to be early mornings or late nights. Better yet, if you're waiting, maybe you're taking that day trip. Christmas Eve, Christmas days, those look like the easiest days to drive. Gio?
All right, let's look for those holiday driving. Absolutely. All right, thank you, Morgan. Appreciate it. Now let's go to meteorologist Drew Tuma of our San Francisco station KGO for the Christmas week forecast. We heard Janae at the top of the show saying it's going to be a wet Christmas, Drew.
Yeah, good morning, Gio. We're tracking conditions in the west because it's relentless rain, heavy wind, and mountain snow over the next several days. Let's talk about your holiday forecast. Today, we're keeping the focus on Northern California. We're tracking that atmospheric river. It is just soaked the Bay Area, portions to the north. As we head into Monday, we could see some light snow across interior portions of New England, some showers across the Gulf Coast, but it's the west. A new storm is setting its sights on California, and this one is going to affect the entire state. So let's show you what's happening on Christmas Eve. Look at that. California, much of the west, this is where the travel headaches are going to be. It's a similar story on Christmas Day, Janae. We're talking several inches of rain across California. The Sierra Nevadas, we're talking 4 to 8 feet of new snow. Janae?
A lot to look forward to in this week ahead. Drew Tuma, we appreciate you and that view of the Bay Bridge. Thank you. Now to the latest U.S. action in the Caribbean. The Coast Guard seizing a second tanker in the waters off Venezuela. ABC News senior White House correspondent Selena Wang is in Palm Beach County with the president with more. Good morning, Selena.
And good morning to you, Janae. We are once again seeing the president ramp up the pressure on Venezuela. This is the second time in less than 2 weeks that the U.S. has seized an oil tanker off the country's coast. The administration is now going after the country's economic lifeblood, oil.
This morning, rising tensions with Venezuela. The U.S. Coast Guard seizing yet another oil tanker off the country's coast. New video released by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem shows the operation carried out by an elite Coast Guard tactical team, according to U.S. officials. It's the same type of unit used just 10 days earlier when American forces rappelled from helicopters onto another oil tanker's deck to take control of the ship. Noem announcing the United States will continue to pursue the illicit movement of sanctioned oil that is used to fund narco-terrorism in the region. We will find you and we will stop you. But unlike that first vessel, Saturday's tanker is not on any sanctions list maintained by the U.S., the European Union, the U.K., or the UN, according to Kepler, a data firm that tracks transportation and logistics networks. Days earlier, President Trump threatened to impose what he called a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers traveling to and from Venezuela, a move that could devastate the Venezuelan economy. Oil exports are the lifeblood of President Nicolas Maduro's regime. Trump accusing Maduro of exploiting the country's vast oil fields to enrich himself and his administration. Maduro firing back this week with a blunt message to Americans.
Not blood for oil.
The U.S. has now amassed the largest military presence in the Caribbean in decades, including the world's largest aircraft carrier. The Pentagon also striking 28 alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, killing at least 100 people, without providing any public evidence or identifying those killed. Secretary of State Marco Rubio defending the administration's escalation.
At the end of the day, it is clear that the current status quo with the Venezuelan regime is intolerable for the United States.
And President Trump has been warning for weeks now that land strikes targeting drug traffickers inside Venezuela could be coming soon, saying this week that he's not ruling out war. So lawmakers, they are now demanding transparency, asking, what is the real end game here? Is it oil? Is it drugs? Or is it regime change? Whit.
All right, Selena Wang for us. We appreciate it. Let's bring in ABC's Chief Washington Correspondent Jonathan Karl, who'll be hosting This Week later on this morning. John, let's pick it up right there because the U.S., as we noted, has seized a second oil tanker in the Caribbean now. Do we have a sense of the Trump administration's end game in all of this?
Well, I think Selena summed up the various rationales quite well. I mean, at times they seem like they're fighting a drug war. They're complaining that Trump has said that Venezuela has stolen American oil. And clearly you heard from Marco Rubio there that the status quo, as he says, is unsatisfactory in Venezuela, is problematic. They seem to want regime change. They seem to want Maduro out. What's interesting here, the second oil tanker now seized by the Coast Guard. The first one was on a sanction list, but as you heard in Selena's report, in this case, that tanker is not on any sanctions list. It was flying under a Panamanian flag. We'll see what the intentions are and if that remains seized and in possession of the United States.
Yeah, this escalation definitely something to watch there. Another topic I want to ask you about, John, members of Congress going home for the holidays without resolving the health insurance subsidy problem. What does this mean for Americans, and where does this political fight go from here?
Well, I'm going to be talking to Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries on This Week, and also with Senator Rand Paul on the other side of this issue. Look, the bottom line is those tax credits for about 2 million Americans expire at the end of the year, which means those Americans are going to see their health care premiums skyrocket after January 1st. The House is going to vote in early January, a vote that was forced because a handful of Republicans defied the Republican leadership to force a vote on extending the tax credits for 3 years. That may well pass in the House with those Republican defections, but its fate in the Senate is far from clear. In fact, Senator John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate, said it has no chance of passing. So we'll see where this goes, if there will be some kind of a compromise. If not, that's a big increase facing millions of Americans and how much they pay for health insurance.
Yeah, huge impact on so many. John Karl for us, as always, thank you so much. And tune into This Week later on this morning. John speaks with House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and Republican Senator Rand Paul on the battle over affordability and health care, with insurance premiums set to skyrocket for millions of Americans. Janae?
All right, now to the Luigi Mangione case. His lawyers now accusing Attorney General Pam Bondi of having a conflict of interest. Mangione faces federal charges in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He's pleaded not guilty. Now, in a new filing, Mangione's lawyers say Bondi has failed to disclose previous work for a lobbying firm that had United Health Group as a client. That, they say, means the death penalty should be off the table. A response to the defense argument is expected. Gio.
Okay, Janae, now to the latest on the mysterious plane crash that took the lives of NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his family, and 2 others. Authorities releasing some new details, but key questions, they remain unanswered. And ABC's Mola Lenghi is in Washington now following this story. Mola, good morning.
Well, good morning, Gio. Yeah, investigators still trying to figure out what happened. They say the plane had been airborne for about 10 minutes before that fiery crash killed everyone on board, including retired NASCAR star Greg Biffle.
This morning, new details released from the investigation into the plane crash in North Carolina that claimed the lives of 7 people, including NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, his wife Christina, 2 children, and Dennis and Jack Dutton and Craig Wadsworth. Authorities saying one passenger texted emergency landing to a family member moments before the crash.
The airplane was stable on approach, configured for landing with the landing lights on, but the aircraft was coming in low.
The NTSB still not sure who was piloting the Cessna C-550 that went down Thursday morning while trying to return to Statesville Regional Airport, but 3 people on board were reported to have pilot licenses.
Aircraft emergency. Aircraft is down. Unknown subjects, runway 28.
The plane erupting in flames, leaving a fiery trail along the runway, followed by a path of thick smoke.
The initial point of impact was a runway light stanchion located about 1,800 feet from the runway threshold.
Investigators recovering the cockpit voice recorder and attempting to extract the data on Saturday.
As authorities investigate the cause, loved ones remembering those who lost their lives. Their families releasing a joint statement. Each of them meant everything to us, and their absence leaves an immeasurable void in our lives. We ask for privacy, compassion, and understanding as we grieve and begin to process this unimaginable loss. Well, the cause of the crash is under investigation. A preliminary report is expected within 30 days, but a final report is not expected for another 12 to 18 months, Janae.
Oh, just a devastating story. Mola, thank you. Now to the dramatic uptick in flu cases as millions around the country get ready to spend the holidays together. Medical correspondent Dr. Darien Sutton is here to talk about it with us. Thank you for being here, Dr. Sutton. We're hearing about this uptick in flu cases nationwide. So many people are going to be getting together for the holidays. What's the latest?
Well, the latest is that the flu numbers are rising. And I can say this personally from working in the emergency room this week. Many patients coming in with flu-like symptoms, body aches, fevers. But we're not just treating the flu, we're treating the complications of the flu. And we're seeing rates rise not just here in New York, but across the country, states like Connecticut, New Jersey. Right now, we're at 49,000 hospitalizations. Now, that's relatively low when you look at the overall numbers that we've seen in prior seasons. It can go up to 500, 600,000. But important note, the rate of change is significant. 4 weeks ago, that number was 6 times lower. So it's gotten six-fold increase since 4 weeks ago. As you can see on November 21st, 7,400 hospitalizations. So important to pay attention to. The majority of the samples tested is this new variant, subclad K, which is seemingly proving to be very, very infectious and traveling fast.
Okay, so if you get the flu or you're exposed to someone who tests positive, what's the guidance for taking medications like Tamiflu? Because you have to get it pretty soon, right?
You do. Within 2 days of symptom onset is when Tamiflu is most effective. And many might not know, but there are actually 4 FDA-approved medications to treat the flu. Tamiflu is most commonly used because there are generic options available, but the other options, Xofluza, Relenza, they're taken in different ways. Xofluza, for example, is a pill. Relenza is a mist that you can do. For example, these are options for those who are higher risk, diabetes, high blood pressure, because you have to balance the benefit, and the risk. They can sometimes come with symptoms of abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, so you have to make sure that you understand that.
So real quick, on the topic of antivirals, if someone in your house has the flu, is that worth considering?
Yeah, so you're asking whether or not you can use these medications as prophylaxis. That means after you're exposed, yes, you can use them if you're using them early to reduce your risk of infection. And we maintain that mainly for those who are high risk. But Janae, to reduce your risk the most, we understand that vaccines help to do that for reducing hospitalization, ICU admission, and death. And right now, with declining vaccine rates, it's a part of the reason why this rate in the number of flu cases is rising so quickly.
And what's like 1 or 2 symptoms to look out for to know when to seek hospitalization or go to hospital?
Difficulty breathing, extreme pain. If you feel like your symptoms cannot be treated from the comfort of your own couch in your home, that's when you want to see a doctor. For most, if it's mild, you can check with an urgent care. But if you're feeling like your symptoms are significant, that's what we're here for in the emergency room.
All right, great. Important information, alarming numbers, too. Yeah. Dr. Darien, we appreciate it. We turn now to the enormous Powerball jackpot overnight, soaring to $1.6 billion. ABC's Andrew Dimber joins us now. And Andrew, no big winner, but I did win $8.
Like a big winner to me. Yeah, no winner last night means this historic Powerball jackpot rolls on. So no ticket matched all 6 numbers, pushing the current run even deeper into the record books. This was the 45th drawing in this jackpot cycle. That's the most in Powerball history. The jackpot hasn't been won since back in September, when 2 tickets in Missouri and Texas split a $1.7 billion prize. The current jackpot sits at $1.6 billion with an estimated cash value of just over $735 million. But before you go out making deposits on yachts and mansions, a reminder of the odds. A staggering 1 in 292 million. This is just the second time, by the way, ever that Powerball has produced back-to-back jackpots, topping $1 billion. And with no winner last night, the jackpot grows again, and so does the anticipation ahead of the next drawing Monday night. Maybe you can get more than $8.
That's right. No, they didn't believe me. I had to show them the ticket that says $8.
We believed it.
Yeah.
We believed he won $8, but he wanted to show us and be proud.
But again, this trend continues.
Guess what I'm doing with the winnings? It's going right back in the game.
I keep forgetting to play. It keeps growing.
All right. Yeah. You got time, though, Gio.
Let's turn to college football now. Some high drama overnight, and ABC's Ike Ajachi is here with all of the highlights. Ike, you're always staying up late for us. What you got?
Oh, this is the assignment that keeps on giving. And I got to tell you, it was a statement Saturday in the college football playoff. From a defensive slugfest at Texas A&M to an Ole Miss offensive showcase to Oregon trying to fend off an upstart James Madison. 3 games, 3 very different stories, but all with huge stakes for who keeps their title dreams alive.
Tony scores a touchdown!
An electrifying day of college football, wrapping up round 1 of the playoffs. Starting at College Station, where Miami and Texas A&M traded punches in a low-scoring rock fight that stayed tied at 3 deep into the 4th.
Fletcher across midfield, refusing to go down!
Hurricanes back Mark Fletcher Jr. finally breaking the game open with a career-long 56-yard run to set up the game's only touchdown.
Just a jet sweep to the right-hand side.
An 11-yard grab by freshman Malachi Toney with under 2 minutes to go.
Reed throws over the middle! Incomplete!
Miami's defense slammed the door from there, intercepting Aggies quarterback Marcel Reed on the final drive to seal a 10-3 upset and send the Canes onto the Cotton Bowl.
And he dives ahead for the touchdown.
In Oxford, Ole Miss had no interest in drama, jumping all over Tulane and never looking back. Quarterback Trinidad Chambliss and running back Kwan Lacey powered an offense that put up 41 points. The win moves the Lane Kiffin-less Rebels to 12-1 and keeps them firmly in the national title chase.
And Morgan Suarez is good from 30 yards to get the Dukes on the board.
Out in Eugene, the Oregon Ducks leaned on their high-powered offense and home field edge to stay in control, eventually wearing down the Dukes to advance out of the first round and keep their championship hopes intact with the final score of 51-34. So Miami survives a grinder, Ole Miss makes a statement, and Oregon avoids an upset, all tightening the race for the national title heading into next weekend's playoff action right here on ABC and ESPN with more semifinal drama on deck. College football's road to a championship, guys, it's just heating up.
All right, let's talk about the NFL real quick. The Bears versus the Packers. Everyone's talking about that walk-off win.
Oh, my gosh, what a wild finish. An unbelievable 46-yard walk-off touchdown pass to DJ Moore in overtime. This win essentially just makes the Bears one win away from sealing the division title with the road game against your 49ers, Whit, and of course the match against the Lions coming up after that.
That's a tough road game, I'll tell you that much, against my Niners. Thank you, Ike.
Thank you so much, Ike. Still ahead here on GMA. More on NFL Week 16, the battle for the NFC South in the spotlight. As the Bucs take on the Panthers, ESPN's coach Herm Edwards joins us live.
Plus, last-minute help for holiday shopping, your guide to great deals as the clock ticks down.
And how the latest space launch is making history. Stay with us, launch into the future here with us on GMA. We'll be right back.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away.
Come on, Janae, you can keep singing. Welcome back to GMA.
Microphones came back on.
Listeners worldwide are giving their heart to Last Christmas. It has overtaken Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas as the top streamed holiday song on Spotify. Last Christmas, which came out more than 40 years ago, also topped Mariah on the Billboard Global 200.
And Whit, can I say,
been on my Christmas
it's on your list, yeah.
It's so good. It's a great song.
It's your favorite. One of your favorites.
All right, let's take a look at some of the other big stories that we're following on this Sunday morning. More than a dozen Epstein files that the Department of Justice released publicly on Friday are no longer available on the DOJ website. Among them, an image of a credenza drawer that held what appear to be two photos of President Trump. The government has not explained why some files are now missing. The DOJ has not responded to ABC's request for comment, but sources tell us the photos will be reposted with some of the women's faces redacted.
A major power outage in San Francisco overnight. More than 130,000 customers were affected at the peak. More than 30,000 still waking up without power. The cause appears to be a fire at a substation.
And for the first time ever, a wheelchair user made it into space. Michaela Bentonhouse, who lost mobility after a spinal cord injury while mountain biking, went up in Blue Origin with her teammates. More than a quarter of all Americans report having some kind of disability. I am so excited for Michaela because just a few years ago, we actually went on a zero gravity flight together. There's the video. There she is right there. You see her right there?
Yeah.
So that's Mickey. They call her Mickey. And what's amazing is that this entire flight was full of folks with some sort of disability.
Yeah.
And it was just incredible to see what this group, Astro Access, does, because it really shows that space is for everyone.
Yeah.
So it's really,
oh, what a moment.
So cool.
Eric Ingram right there. He's fantastic.
Thank you for that extra context there, Gio. Good reporting. All right, we start this half hour with the big games in the NFL, the regular season ticking down to the last couple of weeks. ESPN football analyst Coach Herm Edwards joined us to break it all down. Coach, thanks for being with us. Let's start with the game that could decide who wins the NFC South, Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Well, I'm going to lean with Baker Mayfield right now. This division is locked up, but I think Tampa Bay will eventually win this division. You know, this is a great season in this sense when you think about the National Football League. Only one division basically is won, and that's the NFC East. All these other divisions are still up for grabs with 3 games left, so all these games become critical for all these teams in these divisions with 3 games left in the season.
And, Coach, a big interconference game with playoff implications, the Steelers tangling with the Lions.
Well, this is why they brought Aaron Rodgers to Pittsburgh, right? I mean, these are big games. The Lions secondary is a little bit wounded. They've been wounded with injuries. Aaron Rodgers needs to have a great day. He needs to get the ball to DK Metcalf, Vermouth, the tight end. This is a game that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to win to keep the Ravens off their back. So all these games become important. This is why Aaron Rodgers is in Pittsburgh, to win games like this.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game to watch. All right, let's talk about the Broncos riding an 11-game winning streak. They're taking on AFC South leading Jacksonville Jaguars. What should we expect in this one?
Well, Trevor Lawrence obviously has gotten this team into position, but the problem is he's got to play the Denver Broncos. They don't give up points even in the warm-ups. This is the best defense in football. They sacked the quarterback 58 times. I'll say it again. They've sacked the quarterback 58 times. And the key to football is real simple. Run the football and hit the quarterback. And the Denver Broncos do both of those very well.
All right, Coach, who's with Herm? It's getting real competitive right now, all right? So Janae and Herm correctly picked the Steelers last week. I went with the Dolphins. I had Miami did me in, my hometown. Whit was out of town.
And you benched your quarterback. And you benched the quarterback, too.
Yeah.
Well, Whit was out of town. We're giving him a win anyway because he needs it. Janae and I are now tied at 10. Herm is on our tails with 9. Whit now up to 5 wins. Okay, so Monday.
It's 5 wins.
5 wins. Phillip Rivers with his second start, his Colts facing Witt's 49ers. So who do you got, Herm?
Oh, not even close.
Yep.
San Francisco might win by 2 touchdowns.
Say it.
Yeah, 49ers will win this game.
I like it.
Phillip Rivers is going to figure out, you know what? I'm 44 now. I just been hit. The 49ers defense is going to get after him a little bit now.
I love it. Perfect. I mean, look, I like the Phil Rivers story. You know, middle-aged guy comes back, plays football, but hope my Niners take him down. I'm going with the Niners.
What are you doing?
I'm going with the Colts.
You're going with the Colts.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
You're gonna get cold in your stockings when you do something like that. You're smarter than that.
You're going to be shocked for the first time in a while.
What?
I'm going with Whit. 49ers. I'm going 49ers.
Okay.
There you have it.
Coach, we'll see.
You guys have a great Christmas.
Hey, you
have a
too.
great
Happy
Christmas.
holidays,
Merry
Coach.
Christmas,
Thank
my
you.
friend.
Enjoy.
And you can catch the Colts versus the 49ers Monday night at 8 right here on ABC.
I think this is the one that Gio actually takes it right
You
here.
think so?
Yeah,
You
I think so.
that'd
It
be...
might
Wait.
happen.
Hold on. Is this really the game that decides it?
Well,
should I
there's
switch?
like a couple
we have
more.
another
No,
week?
no, there's no time. Choices been made. No time.
All right. Coming up here on Good Morning America, procrastinators unite. We've got gift ideas that you can still get under the tree in time. Stick around. Welcome back to GMA. Only 4 days until Christmas, and if you're still scrambling to buy gifts, sit yourself down right now because Will Gans has some last-minute ideas that we all need.
Dressed like someone straight from a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's,
and you got your fire right behind you.
You match
It's
the
perfect.
trees.
Yes, it's how you know I'm taking Christmas very, very seriously. So let's start the way we like to start every day here at GMA with coffee. I love this OXO Brew rapid coffee maker. It's got a very small footprint, will take up a lot of counter space. It brews hot coffee in 2 minutes, cold coffee in 5 minutes, and it's $45 right now on Amazon, but keep checking the price because they have been offering discounts like the one you're looking at right there, and it'll arrive before Christmas if you order today. And if you're in the business of making memories this Christmas, check out this instant camera. It was $73.95, now retailing for just $55 online at Walmart.
People are loving these.
Yes, they're so much fun. Great for scrapbooking or giving little gifts to your guests as they leave.
Yeah.
Here's a photo of all of us. Or there's a fun game called Do You Really Know Your Family, with challenges like do an impression of one of your relatives or questions like what do I always complain about.
That should be interesting.
Game is
guys, we
under
should do it.
Yes, we should. It's under $16 if you order now on Amazon, and you can get same-day delivery, which is great for having things in time for Christmas. And then, of course, you can always purchase a digital gift card set Christmas Day as the delivery date, so that's when it would show up in somebody's inbox. I was recently gifted a Ticketmaster gift card, which comes in handy when you're panicking about how much you're spending on Ariana Grande tickets for next summer. So.
There you go. Already taking care of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of gift cards, some are even on sale.
Yes. So there are great deals on gift cards themselves. You can buy them for less. A couple to mention, Adidas has a $100 gift card, but they're only charging $75 for it, which is amazing.
Good.
Yeah, and on BestBuy.com, you can pay $85 for a $100 e-gift card to Wayfair. So if someone wants to do a little sprucing up around the house in the new year. Yeah.
What about shipping because time's running out.
Yes, it is crunch time when we're talking about shipping. So, couple dates you need to pay attention to. You are probably going to pay a little bit more if you want your gifts to be here in time, but here are the dates to know. For Amazon, aim for the 22nd. That's tomorrow for 2-day shipping with Prime. Walmart says you can place orders up until 12:30 p.m. local time on December 23rd with standard shipping, and packages will still arrive Christmas Day. Or if you really are trying to procrastinate here, there is the option of ordering online and picking up in store. Some of these retailers will have same-day pickup available as late as 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve.
Oh my goodness.
So what'd you guys
Down
get
to the
me?
wire.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait and see.
Okay.
But-
We've got 5 extra seconds for you. Go.
What's on the wish list?
Yeah.
I said Ariana Grande tickets, Beyonce if she announces something. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Deal.
You're not getting any of that from
affordable
us.
stuff.
Now with our group chat and the stories that piqued our interest this week. So I'm going to start off here by looking back at New Year's resolutions, right? So as we approach the end of the year, I wondered, like, do people actually keep their resolutions? And
Not
we have
many,
some
is
data,
my guess, right?
Right? Not very many, not very many. So studies show that most New Year's resolutions are actually doomed to fail. Only about 25% of people actually stay committed to the resolutions after just 30 days. Fewer than 10% actually accomplish them. So here's some tips to prepare for next year. Be specific. Studies show that specific goals are easier to reach than vague, abstract ones. So say, walking 20 minutes a day rather than just in general losing weight. This can also help here, like connecting concrete personal goals to something bigger for the community or world. Like if you maybe want to say, I want to write more, but you want to do it not just for yourself, but for the community to help other people. So doing that can kind of help. Did you guys keep your resolutions?
I kind of did, but mine are more, I'm doing more of that too, where it's more specific and small.
Yeah.
Instead of
Good.
like big picture stuff that's a little bit more
I
difficult.
had other more focused goals that I took care of.
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's mine. I have been fascinated by the conversation surrounding what's being called brain rot. We were just talking about it in the
You were
commercial
yelling
break,
at
guys.
me.
It was Oxford's yelling at you word of the year in 2024, referring to the supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state from excessive screen time or overexposure to low quality, low value content on social media, leading to diminished cognitive function. Think doom scrolling. A growing concern, especially for kids and young adults, when it comes to social media addiction and the impacts on an individual's mental health, emotional well-being, and concept of self. It's like that dopamine-driven feedback loops with social media, the likes, the messages, the videos that suck you in. So brain rot is characterized by brain fog, decreased concentration. Research shows the negative impacts on executive functioning skills like memory, planning, and decision-making. So to combat it, you got to limit the screen time, curate digital content, and take part in non-digital activities, not just for kids, but for all of us. So to make sure you're using your brain and not just rotting it
When
away.
you get caught scrolling too, it's just like the worst
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
But definitely, and
But it
especially
happens
for
to
kids.
everybody.
It does.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back talking about the upcoming World Cup. But this time, we're getting into the uproar over the ticket prices. Another phase of the random selection ticket draw is open right now. I just applied for some tickets.
Good luck.
Fingers crossed, we'll see if I get them. But the prices for most tickets are absolutely outrageous. One European fan organization called it a monumental betrayal of the tradition of the World Cup. And you're looking at this number here. Ticketdata.com shows the current get-in price for tickets to the World Cup final is over $9,100.
For a single ticket?
For one ticket.
That's insane.
I've looked around. You can try to get into the draw again. It's a little bit less, but it's still thousands of dollars if you're lucky, if you're able to get it. So now FIFA is responding to all the criticism here. They're making $60 tickets available to each game, but it's only about $400 to $750 per team going to the national federations whose teams are playing. So this is how this works. Those federations will decide who gets those $60 tickets. So for example, if you're a fan of Team USA, you have to join like the Insiders program as part of Team USA and like be a loyal fan, and then you enter another lottery to potentially get those tickets. No, because I wasn't able to get into that.
And still only 400 to 750 tickets per team?
For the $60 ones, yeah. So everybody else is going to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars and thousands. So there's a lot of frustration, a lot of excitement about the World Cup, but it's going to be pricey.
Well, we're pulling for you to get to some games.
Yeah. Hopefully that draw comes through.
We're back now with our play of the day and the signs of the holidays at Ohio Middle School. Principal Erica Cobb at Glenwood Middle School in Findlay, Ohio, transforms herself into an elf on the shelf to the delight of students.
So good.
Moving somewhere different every class period, here she is perched on a banister as students navigate the halls and steps. That video getting nearly 200,000 likes on TikTok and scoring high marks with us.
Is anybody acknowledging her?
How is she right?
So funny.
There's the guy, there's the principal again.
That is so funny.
I love that our own little resident elf over here immediately recognized what was going on.
Oh, yeah.
He was like
Yeah.
laughing right the moment you saw that video.
Exactly. I've been on shelves, banisters, you name it.
You just called me a resident elf.
Thank you so much for starting your day with us.
If the pointy
We
shoe
love you,
fits.
Will. We'll be back.